to sharing in the room, and maybe I'll ask Amanda to join us in the room in just a moment and just go over these points with us here. So with that, let's switch to the groups here. And Daniel, I'll let you go first. Thank you.
Okay. So we were talking about the internship program and some of the questions that were asked, some of the needs in preparing students for the internship programs and learning opportunities. And we talked about offering credit for the preparation and really making it a real experience in terms of the preparation, and then the internship is real. Throughout the experience, peer mentoring, so bringing back some of those people that have already gone through an internship program and have them sort of connect with the people that are going through the experience and just sort of help them through the bumpy pieces, community building, and a standardized template for setting up the internship program with the enrollment, internship, and evaluation. Did that cover? Okay. And then we got a little bit sidetracked. We talked about some of the pros and cons of centralizing the internship programs, and one of the things that we talked about is that in centralizing, I think you need to have an integrated approach, and it's a university-wide piece, capturing the imagination at Royal Roads for what the internship program can be, not for individual programs and schools, but for the university as a whole, and envision the service that we as an organization can offer to our external partners, and just really imagining the possibilities that can happen with the internship program. And we talked about there being more engagement online. Some of the challenges faced regarding the implementation, more engagement online, and the assessment that we need to create sort of an alignment of credits across the organization. And really this all comes down to sort of a change management and shift in culture for the organization as a whole on how we're going to view the internship programs, and what that actually means when it comes down to sort of our outward-facing reputation with our partner organizations and relationships, and how each touch point impacts these relationships and the coming back to the university and supporting the university as a whole. I think that's some of the pieces that we got to. Anything else to add?
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. Rebecca, did you want to go next, please? Thanks, Deanne.
I'll just do a quick apology before I start for all those people I gonged. It was, David made me do it, and he's going to do it at mine on January 22nd. So there you go.
Thank you.
So basically, we just kind of ran through some of the parts of the internship that Rebecca covered that we thought were really, really useful. The testimonials from the students, it was nice to hear from the students. We really liked the international aspect, you know, get students out of their comfort zone. And the employer evaluation was also really great, just to kind of get another level of evaluation in. And we thought that making the internships, standardizing internships, not only in our organization but in other organizations would be useful, because and making internships for credit, because the credit allows us to put more standards in place. It increases student motivation. It doesn't assure a high level achievement, but it certainly helps towards that. And it also is a really nice proactive accumulation of the education the students received. And in internships, it's great to be clear about your expectations with the students and with the employers. Communicate your expectations well in advance so that they know what they're working towards. And And for student skills development, give a strong focus on continued professional and personal advancement. And we identified a few pinch points for the internship. They do need a fair bit of support. They need a lot of coaching. The whole department needs to have a team approach to supporting students. You have to be okay with receiving texts at odd times in odd places. Expect the growth of organic Facebook groups, and it's a really good idea to talk to the students at the beginning of the course and just find out what kind of support do they need, how do they want to be coached, in what ways, using what technology, and then you can build this into the course to kind of meet each group's needs. And we also thought a midpoint synchronous team check-in using Blue Jeans or Collaborate or Skype or whatever is really good to help students stay on track with their teams. What about, have I missed anything?
Thank you, Deanne. Great. And Mike, did you want to go next?
So we had 3 questions. The first question was, with regard to our live case in the final residency, how can we attract clients? And so one great idea came up right away was perhaps to record a post-course client video testimonial. So we've done the case study, it's been presented, and 2 months later the client is still very, very happy and dazzled by their reports. And so we bring them back in, get them into the film studio and do another quick recording of them, which I think would be really powerful. I've already done this, but I can do more of it. I've used past reports as a sample when I've gone out to find new clients. And I think I can maybe do a bit more packaging and perhaps have a sample, a binder of different report extracts to show prospective clients. The concept of an alumni database and also maybe going to chamber awards could also flesh out more clients as well there too. Also, maybe I think we'll get to the stage where hopefully the word's out and clients will be actually beating their path to our door and be actually competing to join this program, which would be great. And then also a final point there was maybe just a sort of a post-course check-in again, tying back to the client video, but maybe just staying in touch with the clients and seeing how their business is actually evolving over the intervening 6 months or so. On the MBA student recruitment, can we use this course as a tool to attract more MBA students? Again, client and learner testimonials. One idea was videotape the open spaces session that Carolyn does, and also client presentations, and perhaps pull together a really nifty 5-minute video that has great shots of the students in the classroom, the client, the site visit, some testimonials, all blended together into a nice sort of tight focused video, which then people will see online when they are looking at the MBA program. And then finally, looking at teaching best practices, again, the scholarship of teaching practice, perhaps a white paper, perhaps taking part in various symposia, really assessing what makes the program successful and can you benchmark it to other similar teaching endeavors there. There could be perhaps an OMP, perhaps that could be done by one of our MBA students around researching the merits of this kind of teaching approach as well. And finally, a concept was maybe having a LinkedIn group as well there too to share some more best practices about the different case studies, etc. So that was our cut on those 3 questions.
Thank you, Mike. Great. Carolyn, would you like to go next? Or?
In honor of time, I'm going to be very quick. The top 3 recommendations on how to move open spaces into an online teaching environment. First one was to make use of the breakout rooms, but to give everyone moderator privileges so that they can move back and forth freely. Maybe line a wit as a possibility for posting everything in the breakout room. Second of all, protocol for engagement. So some guidelines for how we will physically move through those rooms. So if somebody is leaving, to be able to say, I am leaving and I am arriving, so people know when you're coming and going, plus how to use the emoticons more effectively to acknowledge excellent idea, great idea, to pick up on a lot of the nonverbal that we might be losing when we come together online. And third recommendation was around an orientation session for the learners, perhaps showing them some digital photos of what it looks like face-to-face, face so they get a sense of this, and to be mindful that this is probably going to double the amount of time and require at least 2 or 3 moderators to join us for the facilitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Amy.
So we kind of came up with more questions than answers. One question that came from Sandra was, can I reframe the question up front instead of saying, you know, changing student expectations, that this is something different, that, and as opposed to changing what I do, but changing the expectations. Will brought up the point of what is the why do students, like digging deeper into why students want to be face-to-face and then trying to solve that, which you know, is it the immediacy, what is it? What came up for me is also, you know, the tension between what people do, like people might be on Facebook talking, and what I can require in a course. You know, so I can't require synchronous, but they are going synchronous, so how do I navigate that tension? You know, we talked about, is there a software? Is there a is this a technology problem or a pedagogical problem? I'm not sure. And if it's a technology problem, you know, there must be softwares that have been created for this. People did have some suggestions around what might be from, you know, a whole bunch of different suggestions. And then if I find something really good, do I ask learners to climb that learning curve, which I would do if it was the perfect software, or do I try to meet them where they're at, see what they're already using, but then we're still staying with a more ad hoc approach? So lots of questions, but lots to think about. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. And now Amanda. Thanks for joining us here, Amanda.
Okay, I just came from the internet. So just want to say hi to the online folks. So our group we responded to Dawn's questions really about what does the authentic learning in an online synchronous environment look like. And so he was really asking us, you know, how can we create engaging synchronous environments, and especially with his final project, which is solely a individual project, but with a lot of team feedback. And so some things that we came up with were providing options, especially in the synchronous or asynchronous environment. So perhaps a Twitter feed where people can, you know, access the Twitter feed through a hashtag based on the topic that they're interested in. We also just sort of said, maybe be very specific in the Collaborate sessions that you're hosting in terms of what are the topics that you're really going to address. And also one thing that I didn't get to say is, you know, there's always the option to go beyond Collaborate. So, you know, Google Hangouts or Skype, which is what Dawn had suggested that they had used before. So we did have some notes there. I can't show it to you without losing our online folks, so you'll have to see some of the notes that we posted online. But 2 things I just wanted to say. One, I would love to take Amy's course. So if I can like audit your course, that would be great. And number 2, I just thought it was great the work that the tourism group is doing, especially with a lot of your, the work with the e-portfolios and then the interactive map that you've created. So those are great resources. Okay, I'll pass it to Sarah, I think, right?
So I think Terry isn't able to join us, so I'll try and capture what we talked about in one of the breakout rooms online. So we focused quite a bit on Amy and Dawn's questions around improving engagement and, I guess, attendance on Collaborate sessions and other online sessions. So one of the things we talked about was kind of adding that little special sauce piece. I've had some luck getting more students who are trying to prepare for practicums and internships, doing Collaborate sessions and bringing in alumni or previous hosts, because those are people who have some extra interesting information. They hear a lot from, I think, faculty and staff, but that really seemed to improve attendance and interest in the topic. And it was amazing how they just went with it, and it didn't matter if I was there or not. They were so intrigued and asking so many questions, and it made such a difference. So that was really cool to see. Also, we talked about getting everyone involved right away in a Collaborate session, so getting people using the microphones, whether it's just a quick little funny kind of icebreaker activity, but just so everyone feels comfortable, their microphone's working, and it kind of breaks the ice and they feel more comfortable to participate. What else did we talk about? I think those were the primary things. And using breakout rooms like we did when we were just online, we broke people into smaller groups. Someone expressed the concern of if you have 40 to 50 students, it's really hard to get everyone contributing if you're just an hour session and you have a lot to cover. So by breaking up and having additional facilitators that can be monitoring those chat options, that can help as well. So I hope that summed it up.
Thank you, Sarah. And I know we're a few minutes over time already, so I just want to quickly say thank you. First to the storytellers. I know it's a lot of work to get ready for this, and we really appreciate you sharing your stories today. I also want to thank everyone who participated here in the Center for Dialogue and online, and also thank the authors of the Learning and Teaching Model booklet. It really does highlight what makes Royal Roads unique. So it's a very valuable document. And also, finally, I appreciated the support of our media support team and the rest of the CTET team in making this happen. So thank you very much. We will get all of the resources from this workshop posted in the very near future. We'll let you know when that's done. And I'd like to invite you all to the next workshop that will be happening in mid-January. There'll be more details coming out about that. And just want to wish you... Okay, professional experience. Thank you. And just wanted to wish you a happy holiday. Thank you.